This is Dates and Mates with your host, Damona Hoffman.
Hello, lovers. Welcome to Dates and Mates. This is the place where we make modern love simple for you. It doesn't have to be complicated. We overcomplicate it, don't we, Producer Thomas?
We certainly do.
It doesn't have to be hard, though. It can really be easy if you know what you're doing and if you understand what's happening in your body, what's going on chemically. And that's why today we're going to be discussing the real deal on chemistry. I'll tell you who my guest is in just a minute, but you know, we have headlines, Producer Thomas. We always yeah. Yes, we always have headlines because I want you to be in the know. And if you were planning a trip to China, rest assured that you are not going to get caught in a crazy love trap that's been going on this year. And there's also some new dating advice offered by Amazon Echo.
Alexa is, I believe, her name.
Alexa in the
program.
house.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then we last week covered the first celebrity engagement, but now we have the first celebrity split, unfortunately, to tell you about. So that's what's on tap for the headlines, but we also have your thought-provoking questions in Technically Dating, brought to you by blackpeoplemeet.com. We'll ask, is it normal to bicker in a new relationship? And we'll discuss when you should meet your boyfriend's parents. All that and so much more on today's Dates and Mates. And I brought in help. I brought in the big guns, you guys. My guest co-host for this week is Ryeal Simms. He's a cognitive neuropsychologist, behaviorist, motivational speaker, and worldwide authority on the neuroscience of relationships. I'm just really impressed that I was even able to give you that intro without stumbling over it, because there's a lot of big words in his bio. But you know, he's really down to earth, and he's been seen on so many media outlets. He's been on Stevie Wonder's Hollywood radio station. He's been on the UK's Real Love show. I was on the show too. Yeah, Patricia. Yeah, okay. And you've also seen him on Essence Magazine. You've heard him on KJLH, NPR, so many things. And now you're hearing him again for the second time on Dates and Mates. Please give big smooches to Ryeal Simms.
Yes.
Doctor.
Yes.
Dr. Simms.
What's happening?
Okay.
Yes.
I've got to pick your brain because these people at home need answers, okay?
Oh, okay.
We've been talking about getting yourself geared up to date differently in 2018.
Yes.
And now that people are going on these dates, like I got a message from one of my clients yesterday, and she's like, I went out with this guy and he lives 3 hours away, but I'm really excited about him, and like she's feeling all these butterflies and she's wondering if she should pursue it. And I have some feelings myself about those butterflies, but you know what's really happening in the brain and in the body chemistry. So I'm just going to straight up ask you, and you better straight up tell me, do you believe in love at first sight?
I believe that I believe in lust at first sight. I believe
you took the words right out of my mouth. Here you go.
Yeah,
that's what I say, like lust at first sight.
Yeah.
But okay, so what's happening chemically when you're feeling the butterflies on that date? What's really going on?
Yeah, well, you know, chemically, when we talk about the chemicals, what's really happening is that the body is always yearning for love. I mean, we all have a need to belong, as Maslow's law, right? We're always looking for someone. The body is like, hey, I need someone, I want someone, and we get that confused with all of these anticipation drugs like oxytocin or dopamine and phenylethylamine and serotonin.
You're so smart,
and
right?
all of these different chemicals.
Are you taking notes at home?
And all of these different chemicals. And that's why it is so imperative that one does not get intimate really fast, too, as well, because those drugs kick in, and you think that you're actually in love with someone, but you're not. It's actually the bonding chemicals that we're talking about, right? Like the oxytocin. And it is so strong, it manipulates us into believing, because what happens is that the body is yearning for that person that's releasing those chemicals in you, like anything else, like any other drug, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to talk about this being intimate further on in the relationship evolution. Steve Harvey says 90 days. People are always asking me, when is it okay? I'm not asking you to put a number on it, like
Right.
a date or a deadline on it. But
Yeah.
can you put a number or a date or a deadline on when you will be ready?
Actually, you can't really, but what
I mean, I'm not asking you to, but I'm asking you
what's
to.
important is if you are if you understand what you're looking for. If you understand what you're looking for, like I always tell women, hey, you're the employer. Us men, we're just interested in trying to get the job, right? So so you have to know what you're hiring, right? Meaning you got to know who. Self. Right, so most people don't take out time to really understand, what am I hiring? I'm the business. I'm the employer. So what am I hiring? Right. So know self and know exactly what you're looking for. So it doesn't take, you don't have like 30 days, 90 days or whatever. You just know that this person doesn't have the potential to be hired in your business.
So what happens if you become intimate early in the relationship? I always hear from people that say, well, but my friend, she slept with her boyfriend on the first date and now they're getting married, and that is not the case for everyone.
Right, that's not.
It's not the case for everyone, but it's kind of, that's the exception, not the rule, right?
Right, absolutely. And if
So
it
what's
is
happening?
if it is
Yeah.
the case of the ones that did end up getting married,
Yeah.
it's a possibility that what kicked in was the major histocompatibility complex.
Excuse me, repeat
And,
that, please, and slowly.
The major histocompatibility complex. And that's our immune system, our DNA. Because when two people come together, the first thing we do is we actually smell. We're actually smelling each other. Our limbic system is actually always in the, looking for that opposite match. Not the same match, because our DNA is always looking for the opposite. It's not looking for the same, right? So if it is an opposite match, ding, you hear the bells ring, and just maybe you have a connection, and you hear the bells ringing and everything and all that. But still, you have to still work at that relationship. It's not that because you feel all of these, bells and whistles, and you're at this altered state of consciousness, this euphoria, right? You're high, you're like, oh my God, this is totally awesome. We're never going to have any arguments. We're going to just be good and everything is going to be great. And then all of those drugs start to die down. And next thing you know, you see the real person and you're like, oh, I went too fast. And that's why it's so important to slow down and make sure that this is the person that at least have the potential to be hired again.
And you were saying that chemically or biologically, we're really driven to connect and to be looking for that person.
Yes.
I have to respond to my friend Cardi B. She's not actually my friend, but
That'd be quite a guest to get on the show.
I couldn't even
couldn't-
understand
yeah,
her
right.
if she was enough to interview her. But she does give me a lot of fodder for my BET articles.
Yes.
And so this week, and this is not even, we're not even the dating dish yet, but so she recently was engaged to her boyfriend Offset, and then lately these sex tapes started coming out that are like definitely pretty clearly Offset. People are like hashtag Offset on Instagram. And she came out with this statement, well, all men are going to cheat, and what am I going to do but go back into the dating pool and find some other guy to have sex with? And basically she's just saying, stay out of my business, and I'm just going to stick with this guy. So let me ask you, Ryeal Simms.
Not about the cheating, right? Okay, here comes the
Are
email.
men predisposed to cheat?
Are you asking the
I'm
producer?
asking you.
The producer?
I'm asking you, Ryeal Simms, the question. Are men, you are a man, you are a scientist, you are the relationship scientist, Ryeal. What is happening? Are all men, like, is she going to have the same thing happen to her again?
No, actually, there was something that, a major research that came out a few years ago about this DNA, this gene, cheating gene that, remember when, Tiger Woods, and so everybody came out with
He's a
this
sex
article.
addict.
Right. You know,
Right.
everybody came out with the code and
Addicted
everything.
to
He's
it.
addicted.
I'm
and
just addicted. I can't control myself.
right. But no, not everybody. Not, you know, again, if you just deal with that research as far as the gene, the cheating gene, but that's not everybody. That's not every man, you know. And
It's a bit of a crime of opportunity,
Yeah.
and they spend a lot of time apart.
Yeah.
She's making records.
Yes.
He's
You know,
traveling.
that's what
and
I was gonna say,
performing.
too.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
No. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna let you
No,
be
you're
brilliant
saying
today.
it. You're saying it. You're so right. You're right. You know, you have to think about those things. What you're saying. Circumstances too. You know, when you're not at home, when you're constantly traveling. You know, when you're not there, and you know, we're human beings, and that again. Remember when we was talking about the need to belong, right? And you know, you start needing, you start wanting, but there's so many. When we talk about cheating, there is so many variables as to how it can actually happen, right? You know, I mean, it could be from just, you know, treating your significant other wrong every day. You know, and that person doesn't want to leave you, but that person is hurting, and that person needs someone. And next thing you know, you find this friend who's giving you that comfort, you know. So, and then you know, it's not that you wanted to do it, right? You know, it's just the fact that, wow, you know, I feel really good with this person. This person is here for me. This person is telling me what to do. This person is saying, you know, don't worry, you know. And
So let's give some advice now, because I do hear from women. Actually, that same client I was talking about was saying, I'm going to date differently this time. I'm going to really focus on dating nice guys. And I went through a similar journey before I met my husband.
Yes.
I was on a dating plan. I won't bore you guys that have been listening to the show for the 5 years we've been on. With the story again, but I created a plan called Operation Date Nice Guys. And I was very mindful of changing who I was attracted to, because I kept dating these bad boys that were giving me, I think, this chemical response where it was the highs and the lows and the ups and the downs. So let's say Cardi B or this client of mine or somebody has recognized that they've always attracted cheaters or people who lie or people who don't put them first or abuse them or whatever it is.
Yeah.
How can you retrain your brain to be attracted to someone who is a healthier choice?
Yes, absolutely. You know, one thing, you know, it's something that's just so simple. Whenever you think about dating this particular person and you realize it, you're mindful that this is the same person. This is so simple. It's telling your brain, stop it. I know you want something really complicated. You know, I am complicated. I can give you the whole science and all that. But the simple thing is to say, stop it. And what is that doing? You're actually feeding your neurons, right? Your neurons, imagine the neurons in your brain, like these little people. It's like a whole group of people that's inside. And you're telling one neuron, stop it. And you're telling the neuron, I don't want to do this anymore. So that neuron goes and tell another neuron, and
It's like telephone inside
like-
your brain.
Absolutely.
Stop it.
Stop it.
But then it changes, and then it becomes like sloppy, and then it becomes like something else. And by the end, you're like, wait, what was the original word?
Right.
Stop it.
Yes. I mean, it really
That's
works.
why
The
it takes
professor
a
taught
while,
me that.
I guess, to
Yeah.
retrain it.
To
'Cause
retrain
that
it.
can't happen overnight.
Right, that's right. And you know, you got to understand this too. When we talk about sometimes when we say attracting, attract, sometimes we're actually seeking out. Because remember, when we break up from somebody, if we didn't detox from that person completely, the brain still yearns for that person. For instance, you are a drug addict, right? And your drug dealer goes to jail. So now, do you stop taking drugs? No, you go out and do what? Look for another drug dealer that has what they are going to sell you, right?
Yes.
To feed that desire, right? So what we do is when we're totally not detox from that bad boy or that traumatic relationship that we're in, what we're actually doing is we're still yearning for somebody that has the same characteristic as our ex. That's why when we say, why do I keep attracting the same person over and over again? maybe, just maybe, you're not attracting that person. I mean, eventually you're going to attract them because you're seeking that person. But you're actually going out seeking the person because it's your, again, when we talk about the major histocompatibility complex, again, it's the brain that says, hey, I'm looking for the person that will bring out the, will satisfy that addiction that I have. So we're actually looking for. So in some cases, we're actually looking for that person. We're not attracting them to us. We're actually going out seeking that person, and we will find it. Because remember, when we talk about the brain, remember the cartoons years ago? That little man in the brain that's working the little controls, right?
Or the movie Inside Out. I love that movie.
Absolutely. And that's what's happening. It's saying, hey, we need to feed that drug. And what are the drugs? The oxytocin, the phenylethylamine, the serotonins, right? The vasopressins. And it's saying we need to find somebody just like the person we had. Just like the person
because they made me feel something.
Because he made me feel something. So we're seeking. We're going out and we're looking. And next thing you're like, oh, and you feel that. And you're like, that's the person. And so now this is why we need to understand. So when we always, use the term attract, sometimes it's not you attracting. It's you actually seeking out that person.
Oh, my gosh. Producer Thomas. Right? We just got schooled right now.
Pretty much. These are gonna be interesting show notes.
I know.
Like
you're going to have to do a lot of Googling in the Google
Yeah.
machine. I like this. This is the real deal because we talk about this a lot on the show, just kind of in general in terms of your actions and the patterns that you create in your life. But I love understanding what's happening chemically.
Yes.
And because I love the way your brain thinks, I got to get your opinion on the headlines of the week.
Dee's dating dish.
The Chinese dating app market is a little different, I guess, from here because not one, not two, but 21 apps across 13 provinces were busted this week for having bots, basically, that generated messages, totally fake messages, that convinced men on these apps to spend more money, to buy them gifts, to spend money on pornographic images. And they apparently conned users out of $154 million. But experts are kind of like, respect your game, though, because it's kind of amazing that you created a bot that people thought was so real that they would actually spend money to get them to engage with them.
Yeah, that was totally awesome technique. I mean, technology.
You're going to jail.
But
respect.
But you got people coming to jail visiting. Now, can you tell us how did you do this?
Right?
Can you give us your blueprint?
Well, it is pretty amazing AI that because I have on certain apps and sites I have seen bots.
Yeah.
And to me, it's very obvious that it's not a real person, and that when the messages come through, it just
feels funny, right?
It feels funny.
Yeah.
So something must have changed in the technology to be able to make these people really think that they're engaging with a real person.
Yeah.
And I really wonder, like, I don't know, is it something about what's happening in Chinese society? Like, could that same ruse be pulled off here?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, because it's really dealing with the brain. It's really tapping in to the pleasure center of the brain, the caudate nucleus, the nucleus accumbens part of the brain that actually responds to that. And that's what they know. They know that they're using the neuroscience, and they're saying, well, how can we tap into that brain, that pleasure center where, they start liking, start falling in love, start like, what can I do? Can I spend money? What do you want? Can I buy you a car, a house, or whatever? And that's what's happening today. So yeah, you definitely have to be careful and be mindful, just like you said. If you feel like something's different and something's not right, follow that. Because the great thing about this is that we have the limbic system, and that limbic system is always there looking for danger. It's always looking for danger to protect us, right? And that's when we say, oh, I got this funny feeling, right? And that funny feeling is really telling you, it's really helping you, it's warning you. And that's one great thing that I love about the limbic system is that it's always there to protect us. Like it might be off a little bit of what we're talking about, but you know how when women say, girl, it feels like I've been knowing him forever. Mm-hmm. Well,
that's past lives, right?
Again,
no,
it might be the same person. Remember we were talking about you out seeking the same person?
Oh, yeah. It's seeing the repetition
and it's seeing it. That's right. And the brain is going, hey, this is the same guy,
and I
right,
think
in a different body.
There's just so many people that really crave that relationship and want it to be true.
Absolutely.
I bet you, if you interviewed a lot of those guys, I bet many of them would tell you that they kind of suspected that it was a bot.
Yeah.
But they just wanted it to be true. It made them feel good.
It made them feel good.
So
it tapped into the brain. It tapped into the pleasure center part of the brain.
So if it made them feel good, does it even matter if it was a bot?
Well, it's going to get to that point. It is going to get to that point. That is where technology is. It's going to get to the point. I mean, they have technology now where you can actually feel the person that's not there, right? And so once you get that primary somatosensory cortex, the feel, the touch, once that comes in, oh man,
then you're just done.
You're done.
Out.
You don't, it's just, it's it.
I don't think that
not anytime soon, but maybe.
But I do think there's just something about the human connection that can't be.
But is that good though? That's what
the human connection.
Right.
I think
what
it's
you're
what
saying.
colors our experiences.
Yeah.
Like I'm a product of my own choices, good and bad, and of my experiences.
Absolutely.
And I love that I have stories that didn't work out the way that I hoped. And I love that I have stories that inspire people because they did. So
what was that movie? What was the movie that he was talking to Alexis? Her.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's a good transition into our second story because Amazon Echo is getting in the dating game a little bit. It's not quite as sophisticated as you're saying.
Right.
But starting in a couple days until Valentine's Day, Alexa will offer dating advice to those who seek it. So all you have to do is you say, give me 3-day rules, tip of the day, 3-day rules, a matchmaking company that they are partnered with. And then she'll actually give you a tip on how to find love. But it's not really, it's not responsive to what it's not like this show where we respond to.
That's what I was going to say. I want your opinion on this one.
Your actual questions. It's just like, here's what we think you need to know.
Right. Because you can't ask, you can't question it. You can't say, oh, but what about, but if I want to, and it's.
But I think sometimes it's good to hear stuff again, even if you already know it. And then, I mean, it can only be good to get the information. I wonder how many people are going to take the advice, though, from Alexa, because I think people, well, firstly, everyone wants to think they already know.
Right? Absolutely.
And secondly, if they're going to take advice, they want it to be from someone that they
Somebody
really trust.
That's important. And Alexa is really famous right now.
That's the thing. A lot of people said that there was another study a while ago about people's trust of their phones, and people trust their phones more than they trust another person, which is totally ridiculous.
Absolutely.
But I know the folks at 3-Day Rule, and it's a great company, so I wish them lots of luck with it. I hope it works out. Speaking of things working out or not working out, we have our first celebrity split of the year.
Oh, yeah.
This is a big one, Ryeal. This is Lena Dunham and Jack Antonoff, who, you know Lena Dunham, obviously, from Girls and the Lenny Letter and all that stuff. And Jack is a singer-songwriter, and they've been together for 5 whole years. And here's the thing, the little wrench in the system here. In November, there was all this chatter because she thought he was going to propose to her, and then he found out he was actually just talking smack about her behind her back.
Right.
And so
she thought, I'm getting ready to get engaged.
And she was very vocal about that. And they've been vocal about marriage the whole time because they had been saying before same-sex marriage was legalized that they weren't going to get married until everyone could get married. So then when a couple years ago, when that became true, that everyone could get married, then everyone was expecting them to get engaged, and then 2 more years went by and they still didn't. I really worry and wonder about those relationships that are the long time commitment, no commitment relationships. And I'm wondering if there was some other time during this journey. I mean, she's 31, he's 33. They're not babies.
Right.
Like, when do you know when someone is the one? And if you're focused on marriage, which it sounds like she was, then what are the signs that the relationship is not progressing in that direction? Because after 5 years, it seems like she missed a couple of goalposts there.
Right. A couple of signs to let you know that, this may not happen. Right.
As the relationship scientist, what are the signs that the relationship is progressing? How do you know if you're with the right one?
Yeah, like intimacy, one of the things, and novelty. I think I'll talk about that later too. The novelty of the relationship. If nothing's happening, if nothing seems that it's growing in that relationship, it's just like on the.
I call it stuck in neutral.
Stuck in neutral. Wow.
It's going to be in my BET article later today.
I'm putting that right now in my
about Cardi B
notes
and her stuck in neutral situation.
Stuck in neutral. Do you have anything else to go with that?
No.
Okay, stuck
no.
in
I don't have all that book
neutral.
learning that you have.
Right.
No,
That's all I got. That's all I got.
That was awesome. That was more
I have
than all of that.
analogies and anecdotes, but
That's it.
That's all I have.
That's it. That's totally it. And when you realize that you're stuck there, it's like, this is not working. This is something going on. And you challenge that. A lot of people don't want to challenge it because, I'm going to chase him away. I'm going to chase her away. Hey, I was in that position.
Tell us the story,
I was in a
please.
position. I was with a young lady and I really wanted to get married, and we're still just like doing the dating thing, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And it really, it took me a minute to get out of that. I used to listen to the song "Let It Flow, Let It Flow, Let It Go" by Tony. Can I say? Well, whoever the song. I didn't know if I can mention. Oh, Tony Braxton.
Yeah.
And
no conflict here.
Okay.
You don't have beef with
product
Tony Braxton.
No beef with Tony Braxton. It's cool.
Right. I'm so careful about product placement. It's like, oh, you mentioned my name.
I'll call her for my commission later.
Right.
Yo, Tony. Ryeal Simms mentioned your song. No, I'm kidding.
Where's my check?
Yeah. So I was listening to that song like every night and praying because I could not let go. I was addicted to this person. Everything physically was totally cool. It was like, and she knew
cool.
it. She was like, here's some more drugs. Here's some more drugs, and it just kept me. But
what was the moment when you knew this is not going anywhere?
Yeah, when there was more excuses about getting married. There was just excuse after excuse. Let's wait for this. Let's wait for that. I was like, oh man, this is just not cool. And hey, I had everything going on. I was like,
you still do.
I was young too.
You got your pink shirt, your pocket square. You're still,
I think I had a blue pocket square. That was probably the problem.
Well, color does affect emotion as well.
That's right.
We won't get that's another story for another show.
That's another show. Yeah. But I finally, with the help of her going out of town. She went out of town to help her moms with something, and she was like, hey, can you send me some more clothes? I'm staying another week. I'm like, okay. Sent another clothes. She was like, hey, can you send me some more clothes? I'm staying another week. And then
like,
finally, I said, see, she is on it. She is on it. She's
but then you
about
probably
me.
realized when she was gone, you're like, oh, my life is kind of better now.
Absolutely. And
I don't
that's
have
what I
all that
realized.
stress, you know?
Yep.
Well, I wish Lena Dunham the best, and Jack apparently has already moved on. He has another girl he's already seeing.
Yeah.
So good luck to him too.
Right.
We're going to take a break. When we return, we have more love lessons with me and Ryeal Simms on what you can do to make your love life really happen in 2018. So stick around. I'm your host, Damona Hoffman, and we will be right back with Technically Dating in just a moment. Are you ready to find love in 2018, but already feeling overwhelmed and defeated? Yeah, this is not the time to give up, friends. This is the time to get help. You're not missing motivation. You're not missing options. You're missing a mentor who knows how to navigate the world of modern dating and a supportive community who will understand what you've been through to get to this point. So for the first time in 2 years, I'm opening up registration for my women's group program, Date by Numbers. It will give you a roadmap to success in dating in just 1 month and personalized attention from me. I know you can find love this year if you only knew the steps to follow. So I'll lead you step by step through the method that has led my clients to love time and time again over the last 12 years. It's time for you to date by numbers. Here's how you know if this program might be right for you. You're a woman approximately 25 to 55. You're dissatisfied with your dating options. You like to have regular meetings to keep your goals on track. You've read my material, watched my show, or maybe on this podcast heard me say the exact dating challenge or dream that you have at least once. You have 4 weeks to commit to making a big life change, and maybe you don't have the budget for one-on-one coaching, but you still want personalized help. This program could be right for you, and it could be just the thing you need to reset your love life this year. I'm holding free one-on-one introductory sessions for serious applicants, and all you need to do is apply. Go to datebynumbers.com, complete the short application, and you and I could be talking next week. That's datebynumbers.com. Make it easy for yourself and take the step to bring love into your life because you deserve it. Don't wait. The program begins the week of January 20th, so get your application in now at datebynumbers.com. Welcome back to Dates and Mates with Damona Hoffman. My guest co-host, Ryeal Simms, and I are here to tackle your questions in Technically Dating.
Technically Dating.
And as you know, Technically Dating is brought to you in partnership with blackpeoplemeet.com, and we have questions today from the Techspert app, which you can download for free in the App Store and post your question to get immediate advice. If you don't want to wait until next week's show, you can get immediate advice on the Techspert app, and you could end up on a future show. And I have a little, I don't want to even tease it. I have something exciting that happened on the Techspert app that I'll tell you about at the end of this segment. So this question, Ryeal, comes to us from a female. She's 22. She said, any ideas why I haven't met my boyfriend's parents? We've been together for over a year. We're in a good place, no fights or no problems. And his brother introduced his girlfriend in 6 months of dating, so it's not the family. Why would he be waiting to introduce her to his parents? Is he not ready?
He just may not be ready. It could be a possibility he's not ready.
Or is she maybe not the one? 6 months.
That's like parent time.
That's
right?
like parent time.
Yeah.
That is parent time. 6 months is definitely, I mean, because now you're coming up to the holidays, right? You know? And, it's like Christmas and Thanksgiving, and it's time to, who's going to whose house?
Let me ask you sort of a tangential question. I'm good at that.
Tangential, see?
There you go.
Hey.
There you go. I
Hey,
got words.
$5 word there.
Tangential.
I got words.
Right.
I heard a really great word on the radio this morning that I didn't say. Disentanglement.
Oh.
And I was like,
Wow.
I got to use that on my show.
Yes.
So I'm glad
You just did.
I did.
Yeah, you
and it was
worked it
sort of in
in. Yeah.
context.
There it is. There
Yes,
it
the
is.
disentanglement with his family. Okay, I want to ask, how important is the family connection to your relationship? Because I do hear a lot from people who don't get along with their partner's family. Is that really important if you have a strong bond between the two of you?
Wow, that's a really, really, that's challenging, because we have seen relationships work out that didn't get along with, I mean, we go all the way back to Fred Flintstone, right?
That's real old school,
They're,
yeah.
they're still together, right? Although he
That's
hates
prehistorical.
he hates
school.
her mom,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They don't like each other, so but it will add to the relationship if you have a good relationship with the family, or with the dad or the mom, the wife and the mother-in-law, because it's it's a woman-to-woman relationship. It's a guy-to-guy relationship. You know, you go and you visit your your father-in-law, and hey, let's watch football, get some beer, you know, and shoot the talking, you know. And
I like that he kept it clean because we knew what he wanted to say.
you know.
Actually, my husband is much better at communicating with my mother than I am. Well, you know that saying, you know why your parents push your buttons? Anybody?
I don't.
It's a
know
joke.
the saying.
It's a joke.
No, what's the saying?
Catch up. It's they're the ones that programmed them, so they know how to push your buttons.
There you go.
Because they programmed the buttons.
That's
Get
true.
it?
They
Get
do.
it? Get it? Get it?
Oh,
Okay. Speaking
great.
pushing buttons, this question comes to us from a female who asks, is it normal to bicker a bit early in the relationship? Me and this guy love each other, and we have been talking for a couple months. That's what the kids say now, talking.
Right. Oh, that's the thing now?
That's what they say,
it's
talking, but they're not talking about talking.
Yeah, they're not talking. It's not we go together or...
It's not talking that they're doing. Anyways, he asked me out, and everything's been great, but now and again, we have tiny moments of fighting and disagreeing. Is this okay? I really want to know what you think, relationship
I was going to
scientist.
ask you first this time.
No. You're the guest co-host.
We hear from her all the time. We want to hear from you.
Thanks, producer Thomas. Do you like how he did that with the eye
Yes,
roll?
with the eye roll. He did it with the eye roll.
That's
He was
all I
like, oh
listen
my
to.
God.
I mean,
He was
it's
like,
only
thank
called
you.
Dates and Mates with
Right.
Damona Hoffman.
He was like, thank you so much
Yeah.
for being here. Oh my goodness. He did.
No, I really want to know what
that
you
was
think.
body language.
I'll tell you what I think in a second. But is it normal to
Yeah.
bicker early in the relationship?
Well, I think
What is normal anyway?
right. I know that's what I was getting ready to say. I mean, because you're gonna have disagreements. You know, whether you're girlfriend, boyfriend, or not. You know, you're gonna have some disagreements. It's how you actually have those arguments. You know, and it's at what intense arguments you have. You know, early on. That can be the scary part because, you know, then you're dealing with, oh, wait a minute, I don't know if, which is good because you're actually getting to see, you know, something that you may not like in that person, you know, but.
Yeah, but then I feel like people are a little quick to want to run away. I would say, I think some bickering is normal. Some disagreeing. I don't think bickering is really healthy.
Right.
Like
disagreement. But
being like,
bickering.
oh, well, you said this and you did it.
Right,
like what
right.
my kids do.
Yeah.
That would not be a healthy
Exactly.
relationship bickering.
Exactly.
Well, you said you were going to go here and do this. That's not healthy. But setting up your expectations and your understanding of the world and the relationship and your goals, I feel like that is by nature going to create some friction.
That's right. Absolutely.
At the beginning.
Absolutely.
And then once you understand where the person is coming from and identify that you're on the same team and you're headed towards the same goal, because I mean that might illuminate that you're not headed towards the same goal,
Right.
in which case you need to get out and not spend 5 years.
Right. Absolutely. Or if you can deal with it, if there's ways that we can find that we can deal with this certain bickering that you have. And it's also getting to learn one another, too,
Yes.
because the bickering is actually communicating, articulating something that may bother me just a little bit, you know, and then you realize, and too, you know, sort of like Imago, you learn from that person's bickering because it's like, what am I doing? Right. So then you learn something about self. You know, because you may find yourself constantly in a serial dating where this person is always bickering about that particular one thing. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I left my girlfriend for this same thing. I can go back to her because now I realize it's actually me. It's not her. It's me. It was me.
Oh, nobody wants to have that realization. Now I have to change something about myself?
Right.
Get it.
Right, absolutely.
But if you are hearing the same thing and you're bickering about the
That's
same
right.
things in multiple relationships, it might be true
It
that
just
you
may
are
be
the
true.
problem and the
That's
common
right.
denominator here.
That's right. And I like that, too. You know, that's something that's a really good point that you just said. And a lot of people really need to understand that because we always want to blame the other person and not take responsibility as well on ourselves.
Yeah.
And you're constantly going to relationship, and the same thing is happening. But you have to be mindful that, hey, am I contributing to this bickering and to this arguing?
If everyone was just self-aware like that,
yeah.
kumbaya, we could all just get along.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's not. I wouldn't say it's normal, but it's not abnormal,
Right.
to be disentangled with. No, I'm kidding. It's not abnormal. It's just how heated does it get? Like if there's seriously, on a serious note, if there's like physical violence,
Absolutely.
no,
Then no.
just no. That is
Right.
just a non-starter.
Right. Absolutely.
Completely.
Absolutely.
Moving on,
Yeah.
this comes to us from another female who's also 22. She says, "Do you think it's cheating?" This is kind of a serious. This is like a.
Can I say something just for
Yes,
that?
of course.
Before
Yes,
we
sir.
go to this one, just real fast. Yeah, you're so right. And we also should be very mindful of a certain behavior too that that may be abnormal. When somebody is just like Fatal Attraction. Have you ever seen the movie? When you could
Yes.
just tell that this isn't normal, right? We have to be mindful of that too, because it's like, this is too soon for you to act like this to me. Why are you going off on me? I was just late 1 minute and you're really going off on me. So we could be talking about borderline personality disorder.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That got real serious.
Okay.
Okay.
All
This
right.
is serious in a different way. This
Yeah.
is sort of for the people at home listening in the car with your with your children. You're terrible parents. But besides that, this is not for the faint of heart. So
Yes.
so skip forward if you're listening with your kids. So this is a female who's 22. She says, "Do you think it's cheating if your boyfriend had a bunch of nude photos of his exes still on his phone and had recently saved nudes his buddies sent him of who they're doing?" That's the question, Ryeal. Is it cheating?
This is wrong, man.
Is
She's
it
like
cheating?
hitting me with these,
It's not cheating. I mean, we don't know if he's really cheating, but is it cheating just to have the images to refer back to of the nude exes?
Yeah, that's a good question because this is new. We were talking about technology today, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have those images in your phone, right? So you can ask the same question: is it cheating if someone back in the day still had
Polaroids.
porn in the shelf, or CDs,
Porn
or
is fine, but
I mean,
people pictures is sort of different.
Yeah.
The weird thing is like everyone knows what he's keeping those photos around for, so it just puts everyone in an awkward situation where it's like, now she knows essentially he's masturbating to pictures of his old girlfriend, which
Absolutely.
can't be fun for anyone involved.
And then who wants to touch his phone
Right,
after
right,
that? Right, exactly. I mean, I would say also that it's just sort of creepy.
It's
And
creepy.
I'm going to go another step further
Yeah.
to say that I think it's exploitative
Yeah.
of his ex-girlfriends as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, they took those pictures for personal use when you were in a relationship.
Yeah.
I think the not creepy thing to do is to delete those images.
Yeah, especially because they're the ex. If they're not just like you said, if they're not the ex and they're just naked pictures, then we know
your
why you
boy's
have those pictures.
Girlfriend, like that's also
Yeah.
not okay,
Yeah.
or whoever they're banging.
Right.
That's like almost
is
more of
like-
a violation of consent in some ways, because with
Yeah.
the ex, like it was consensual sending them. It is creepy to keep them, but it's like a more like sticky situation if your guys are sending you.
That were
Yeah.
sent for personal
Right,
use.
right,
For
right.
personal use, just like you said, that's we know that's why they're there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But let me just remind you all
Yeah.
that it's not a good idea to
Oh,
even take those photos.
This
Yeah,
is your
absolutely.
pulpit.
This is my pulpit. I'm just going to keep repeating it until people really start to embrace this.
right.
Your photos, they sync to the cloud. How many times have we heard celebrity photos have leaked. This is how it happens. They're not secure. Your phone is not secure. I don't care if you have a password on it. I don't care if you just snapped it to them and it's going to disappear in 24 hours. Why do you need to take these photos? It's unnecessary. You can see them in real life. You don't need to take the photos. You're setting yourself up.
Yes.
In today's world, you're setting yourself up
Yeah.
to be exploited or to have a sticky situation like that. I'm sorry that I said
right.
sticky.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay.
Well,
Moving on. Well, you were the one that brought that up, Producer Thomas.
That's at the core of
Yeah,
of
you
this
were
argument.
right
think
there. I mean, that was
hit the
it.
nail
That
on
was
the
it.
head.
Sticky situation. You were right there.
We have so many questions. I'm not going to get to all of them, Producer Thomas.
Oh, I know. We're running out of time. Maybe one more? You would probably do one more.
Okay, well, since I teased it, I have to tell you. So one of these posts, so I go through the Techspert app to look for posts that would make good conversation for, the top post for dates and mates. Mm-hmm. And so I was reading through one, and the advice that one of the users gave was you should listen to Dates and Mates with Damona Hoffman. And I was like, oh,
Hey, there you go.
that's
there you
great.
go.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't Ray, I swear.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
wow.
somebody in Miami. So thank you.
So put down Alexis.
30-year-old
Yeah.
female from Miami for recommending Dates and Mates and
That's
for
right.
listening to this show and for being active on the Techspert app. So the question, Ryeal, is I dated the same guy for years, and this is the first time in my adult life that I'm in the dating world. Okay? This happens to a lot of people of all ages. Like I have had clients that got married at 20 and then they had something happen and find themselves single at 50 in today's dating world with the apps and the technology and all that stuff. So she says she's downloaded some of the apps, but she literally has no clue what she's doing. She sucks at talking to people, so she says, especially when texting starts to get all flirty. She says her mind just goes blank.
Yeah.
What's your recommendation
Dates and Mates.
if you're coming? If you're
Talk to Damona.
no, you're on Dates and Mates right now. This is so meta. This is so meta right now. You're on Dates and Mates, Ryeal. So I want to hear your opinion.
Yes.
How can someone who's coming into dating again after being partnered for a really long time and not knowing any of this stuff, how can they approach dating again and like feel sexy and flirty and comfortable?
Yeah. I think it's just doing your research, finding out where you what to do, what sites to go on. Talk to your friends, your single friends, the ones who are out there that are dating. Find out what's really happening because things have changed. Remember, back in the day, it was going to a club, right?
Yeah. But like learning how to flirt again. I think flirting is a skill to be learned.
Yes.
Are there some tips that you can give as the relationship scientist about tapping into, what is your natural, what's the word? The natural tendency anyway to want to partner up. Like you said, I think you innately know how to flirt, but you kind of forget it.
Yeah. You forget the social flirting, the things that they tell you, but naturally you flirt, but we aren't mindful of it, right? Like just rubbing your hair, constantly touching your hair, constantly curling your hair. That says I'm yearning for affection, or watch a person if they have a glass or something and they're constantly just rubbing their glass or rubbing their pencil or something that's constantly.
Now I'm like really
when you look at it.
self-conscious.
Because,
I'm
I
like-
teach body language too as well.
I'm like, what have I done during this show
Yeah.
that he's judged me for?
Yeah. Yeah, because the body language really says a lot, right? And I've been teaching body language for years, and it's scary when I first got into it before I became certified. Once I started learning these little things, and it was so scary to see a human being doing something that they weren't mindful of.
And you knew.
And
You
I
knew
knew.
what was in their mind.
Wearing X-ray specs or something.
Yeah.
You were like, psych.
Oh man, it's scary. It's like, oh my goodness, it's like really scary. And because now when I'm listening to a person, I'm not just listening to the words. My mind.
That's like 10% of the content, right?
That's right.
Of what they're
Absolutely.
saying. It's all
Absolutely.
context.
That's right. That's absolutely.
I love all this advice you have.
Yeah.
Where can people get more of it?
You can go to the relationshipscientist.com's site. You can find me on Facebook, Ryeal, Ryeal, Relationship Scientist. I have a couple other sites too that's coming up soon. And
We'll have to have
Dr.
you-
Ryeal, and
We'll have to have you back to talk about those sites when you're ready to talk about them.
Yes.
So we always cap off the show with a dating ... I believe that the first instinct is always correct. So I'm going to tap into your limbic system or whatever.
Uh-oh.
And I will say a phrase, and
Okay.
you, sir, are going to complete it with your first instinct advice. Are you ready? Number 1, the worst pickup line ever is...
Does those fries come with the shake?
Oh, no, I hate that one. Yeah. 2, the best place to go on a first date is...
I believe maybe just somewhere that you're not interrupted, like a movie or something like that. That's not a good place. That maybe just to the beach or somewhere.
Ooh, beach. I like
I
that.
haven't
think
heard that
the
one
beach
before.
is really a good one.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Number 3, the sexiest thing about a woman is...
Her eyes.
Huh. The sexiest thing about a man is...
And you're asking me?
You should know. You're teaching people how to have chemistry.
I think the sexy thing about a man is his upper body, his shoulders, his chest.
You didn't have to go physical.
Yeah.
First instinct. Number 5, the
Yeah.
most important thing for a relationship to last is...
Understanding communication. When
Yeah.
people say the best thing is communication, well, in that case, everybody would have a great relationship. You can, you're having communication, you're screaming, you're cursing each other out and all that. That's communication, right? Understanding one's communication, that is the key. And novelty, doing new things, going and, having a good time. And,
Novelty.
Novelty is so important. When people go and jump off the mountains every day, eventually they get tired of jumping off that mountain, and they do what? They go out and they look for another mountain to jump off of. So novelty is so important. Add new things to the relationship. Yeah.
You're so wise, sir, and I'm so glad that you could join us again on Dates and Mates. I hope you will come back.
Yes.
And
I will.
Good.
I mean, if you let me.
I just invited you, so
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. And I've invited all you ladies at home to join me for my program. You can apply and get a session with me at datebynumbers.com. Also, a big thanks to our friends at blackpeoplemeet.com, the premier online dating site for black singles. Don't forget to download the Textpert app to post your questions. And if you love this show, why not leave us a review and tell us how you feel and what segments you love, and we'll keep making more of them. And don't forget to tell a friend and spread the love of Dates and Mates. We'll be back again next week with more modern love advice. Until then, happy dating.